Tonight on CTV News at 6. Garbage, bullet holes, and property destroyed.
We filed for the non-payment of rent and just kept adding as they went on, just so we had that paper trail.
A Sudbury area homeowner shares her tenant horror story in hopes of helping others. Plus, investment when it comes to a Cobalt refinery.
This is going to be the very first critical minerals project to reach production of any sort of significance in Canada in many, many years.
Major financial strides are being taken to make it a reality. And lights, camera, action, it's Cinefest time.
I'm excited for people to see the impact and to see the crowd.
Sudbury rolls out the red carpet for the best of the best in film.
CTV News at 6 with Tony Rima and Rick Wyman with weather.
Well, good evening. Thanks for joining us. Tony is off. A Sudbury councillor has put out a public safety update on social media regarding a home on Catherine Street in Garson that was subject to what she called problematic tenants that refused to leave. One of the homeowners is speaking out in hopes of advocating for change. CTV's Lindsay Alick has her story.
Garbage, bullet holes, items strewn across the floor. This woman and her partner purchased this home in 2023, knowing there were tenants. This past winter, the couple was planning on renovating the basement to live in when the upstairs tenants stopped paying.
We filed for the non-payment of rent and just kept adding as they went on, just so we had that paper trail. Obviously, we didn't hear anything, and within that time frame in the winter, our basement flooded.
She wants to share her story, but has fears for her safety by appearing on camera. She tells CTV News the couple then filed paperwork with the landlord and tenant board to live there, but says that didn't go anywhere. Meantime, illegal activity was happening in the home, which resulted in a drive-by shooting in March, which left 13 bullet holes in the home.
It's really sad to hear as a homeowner that there's really nothing you can do. The landlord-tenant board has not reached out. We have still the pending filing with all of this. This is a matter that GSPS was able to solve because our tenant signed the non-tenancy agreement and awaited the time, moved out properly.
She says approximately 12 other people shared the home and police were able to get the squatters to leave earlier this week.
We have to gut the whole house and start from ground zero. So as a first-time home buyer, this is probably the worst home I will purchase in my life, I hope. But it's not something that I would suggest to anyone to rent out a home anymore.
Ward 7 Councillor Natalie Labby put out a public safety update. Labby says many residents have reached out seeking information.
We want people to know that that is now a positive thing. So unfortunately, these tenants are going to move into another neighborhood and perhaps wreak havoc. But for the people on Catherine Drive, they're going to have some peace of mind that they can have their safe neighborhood back again.
The homeowners say cleanup and renovations will be quite costly. And while they won't be starting a GoFundMe, they do appreciate any support residents or businesses can provide. Lindsay Alick, CTV News, Garson.
5 Sudbury teens have been arrested last night after reportedly stealing alcohol from a convenience store. Police were called to the scene after the youth left the shop around 8:30 last night with help from the K-9 unit. 2 of the teens were tracked to the 2nd Avenue area. Another 2 were picked up a short while later, with the 5th teen being identified and arrested at their home. Police say the group of 15 and 16-year-olds were all charged with robbery. 4 youths are facing charges following social media video inside a Blind River discount store. A video that was posted to social media August 18th showed 4 teens entering a discount store on Causley Street, where they became disruptive with the goal of being kicked out. OPP conducted an investigation after the video was sent to them. 2 13 and 2 14-year-olds have been charged with engaging in prohibited activity on premises. North Bay OPP are warning of scammers calling people and posing as police officers. Residents in the area have reported being called by someone saying they're with the police service. The calls look and sound legitimate, with the scammer providing a name and badge number and calling from a spoofed phone that resembles the OPP's non-emergency line. The scammers say they're investigating identity frauds and trying to transfer you to another department. Police say these calls are not real. Don't provide them with any information and call police to report the incident. And the municipal police in North Bay are cautioning people who post items on Facebook Marketplace tonight and reminding them they have a safe place to buy, sell, and exchange goods. This safe zone is located in front of police headquarters at 135 Princess Street West and is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The reminder comes after a North Bay resident posted a vehicle for sale online and arranged for two men to view it at their home. The seller was asked for a flashlight and went inside to get it. When they returned, the vehicle wouldn't start anymore, and the two men started haggling for significantly lower prices. The vehicle was later inspected, and a licensed mechanic believes the vehicle may have been deliberately damaged while the seller was inside. There was a heavy police presence in Copper Cliff this morning as officers responded to a weapons complaint. A man now faces several charges after allegedly shooting at a vehicle. CTV's Elena Everson reports.
Police say they got the call about a weapons complaint just before 8 a.m. Friday. They responded to a residence on Balsam Street.
Information provided was that an individual had attended the residence, and when that individual was leaving, a person exited the residence and shot the vehicle with what was described as a gun.
Officers set up containment of the area, closing Balsam Street at Peter and Nickel Streets. The police response included the tactical team.
Due to the possibility of a firearm inside of the residence and the fact that the individual discharged the firearm outside, officers set up containment of the residence. They made calls into the residence. The person exited and was taken into custody.
A 50-year-old man from Sudbury faces several weapons-related offenses, including possession of a weapon for a dangerous purpose. Police held the scene, waiting for a search warrant to recover the firearm. The weapons incident closed streets in the area for just over 2 hours. Police say the people involved are known to each other. Alana Everson, CTV News, Copper Cliff.
Timmins fire crews were called to an early morning blaze. Around 3 this morning, crews were battling a structure fire on 3rd Avenue between Birch and Balsam. Crews contained the fire to the unit of origin and had it under control. A business in the unit below sustained significant water damage. There's no estimate on the value of damages or a timeline to reopen. A plea tonight from Blind River's Fire Department. Please refrain from accessing privately owned lands to start fires. The reason being it puts their volunteer firefighters at risk and jeopardizes the department's ability to respond to others. It comes following a fire around 7:30 Wednesday night at the corner of Venturi and Lakeside Avenues. Smoke could be seen from an abandoned industrial building. Fire crews quickly got it under control and left 2 hours later. East Algoma OPP are investigating the cause. Well, time for our first check on weather. Here's CTV's Rick Wyman. And Rick, it's Cinefest time. I'm hoping we have some decent party-like weather in Sudbury.
Well, from one follically challenged individual to another, Ian, I would concur with that assessment. I think we do, especially after tomorrow, because we will get some rain in the forecast tonight, overnight. As you can see, forecast radar right now with the system that will dampen the north. We do have some rain in the northeast right now. We'll take a look at that with our current conditions and a lot more. But after tomorrow, Ian Campbell, listen carefully. It'll be nice, really nice. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So if you can count, you'll see all kinds of great weather coming your way. Details just a few minutes away. Back to you.
I'm not follically challenged. I'm just aerodynamic. Thanks, Rick. There's more news to come here on CTV News at 6. For now, let's go to a live shot of Elliott Lake and the marina. The water down there looking absolutely stunning. Will this weather hold? We'll find out with our weather wizard, Mr. Wyman, after the break. This shot coming courtesy from the city of Elliott Lake. Stay with us. You're watching CTV Northern Ontario.
When you see it happen, send it to CTV News. Text 10400 from your screen to ours. Text 10400.
Amid a looming battle among Western nations and China to control the cobalt supply sector, pledged money continues to pour into a refinery plant project just a few minutes south of Temiskaming Shores. Cobalt is considered a key material in the race to build the batteries that power electric vehicles. CTV's Eric Tashner now with the details.
Closer and closer to getting up and running. That's how Electra Battery Materials CEO Trent Mell sees it. as major financial strides are being taken to open North America's first cobalt refinery plant in North Cobalt.
This is going to be the very first critical minerals project to reach production of any sort of significance in Canada in many, many years.
The province is committing $17.5 million to the project. Minister of Economic Development Vic Fedeli says in part, Electra's investment in Timiskaming Shores will establish an integral link in the province's critical mineral processing supply chains and fuel the next stages of Ontario's leadership in electric vehicle battery manufacturing. This is only a part of an estimated $100 million needed to complete the refinery construction. Last summer, the Pentagon presented $20 million, and discussions with the federal government to unlock an additional $20 million are still ongoing.
It's really up to the lawyers to dot the I's and cross the T's on both contribution agreements, the federal and the provincial.
Electra is launching a restructuring plan targeting an approximate 60% reduction in convertible debt and a $30 million U.S. equity raise. The refinery would add 50 new jobs and produce 6,500 tons of battery-grade cobalt sulfate annually. That's enough to support domestic production of up to 1 million electric vehicles per year. Almost all of the current cobalt supply comes from China. Electra's goal is to stand out as one of the few producers with no ties to foreign entities.
Our stated mandate is to onshore the supply chain, reduce reliance on China, because we do have tensions that pop up here and there. So we will be 100% of the market and we will be a preferred supplier.
Electra has its eyes locked on construction ending in late 2026, with production operations starting in early 2027. Eric Tashner, CTV News, North Bay.
Officials broke ground today on a new maintenance facility in South Porcupine. The province is providing $400,000 from the Northern Ontario Heritage Fund Corporation to Disdale Bus Lines to build it. The company will build a 9,600 square foot building where they can repair and maintain their fleet more efficiently and support the mining sector. Tisdale Bus Lines works with northern mining companies to transport workers to and from remote mines. The province also investing in recreation today through the NOHFC. The Ontario Federation of Snowmobile Clubs is getting a boost of nearly $430,000 to improve trails across Northern Ontario. The money will go towards 9 projects, including the replacement or rehabilitation of 9 bridges and installation of 2 culverts on some popular trails. Trails in Wawa and Folliette will see some rehabilitation work, and the Warren Trail route on Trail WN402 will be rerouted. An update now on a story we told you about on Wednesday, where 4 of 7 goats ran off after a late-night animal encounter on the T-Bear homestead. 3 of the 4 goats missing in Skeed have been found now by a community member deep in the forest. Without hesitation, the family drove to the location where the family was able to find 3 of their beloved pets. They were unable to get the goats in the truck, so the kids ran alongside the goats on their journey home with community members driving behind them. Hazards flashing, making their mother tear up from the community and its show of support. Unfortunately, Oreo is still missing, and T-Bear believes that the goat may be pregnant and is asking for community members' continued assistance in locating her. Oreo is described as looking like a cow in goat form by T-Bear.
Afraid of goats.
Public health nurses at Algoma Public Health are headed to conciliation as they seek a new contract. 60 registered nurses and 1 nurse practitioner represented by Ontario Nurses Association are concerned about understaffing and pay. ONA saying in a press release today they have the lowest wages in the province, which makes it impossible to recruit and retain staff. Other issues include burnout and job security. The union hopes conciliation will see competitive wages that reflect the unique challenges of northern practice and cost of living. The Canadian Union of Postal Workers today called on Canada Post to come back to the bargaining table, urging the Crown Corporation to treat the negotiations with the seriousness they deserve.
If Canada Post continues to stall, postal workers will have no choice but to consider stronger actions to move negotiations ahead. I'm announcing that starting on Monday at 12:01 a.m. local time, the overtime ban has been lifted and we're moving to a flyer ban.
Bargaining has now dragged on for more than a year and a half. Last month, the union responded to Canada Post's latest offer with a proposal that called for higher wages, but did make some allowances for part-time workers. The Crown Corporation has not responded to that proposal, but it has asked the union to align its expectations with Canada Post's dire financial realities. The Crown Corporation says the decision will impact the thousands of Canadian businesses that reach their customers through the mail. It will also impact employees who are paid to deliver the flyers on top of their wages. Canada Post warns this latest strike activity will increase the uncertainty that is already having a major impact on Canada Post's business, which saw it post a loss of $407 million in the second quarter. The Liberal government has committed to signing pharmacare deals with Ontario and the other provinces and territories. The comments yesterday from Prime Minister Mark Carney ends months of speculation about the program getting cut short. Ottawa launched the first phase last year, which provides what it calls, quote, universal single-payer first dollar coverage of contraceptives and some diabetes medications at little or no cost to patients in Manitoba, BC, PEI, and Yukon. They're only the jurisdictions to sign deals so far. Back now for a check on the current conditions with Rick Wyman. And Rick, you and I were out for lunch today, and I don't want to brag or jinx it, but it was looking pretty good.
Looking good, and unfortunately, and we're going to have a bit of a break in the action tonight, overnight, chance of precipitation, but it will get better starting Sunday. That's my guarantee this weekend. Here we go. Forecast radar. Take a look at the system that's affecting the Northeast. Again, with some light rain shower activity. And we'll take a look at some of the conditions here as we speak right across the Northeast. Let's begin in beautiful Moosonee, 23 sun and cloud. Cochrane, mainly sunny. Timmins, mainly sunny. Kapuskasing, 22 and sunny as well. Here we go with the cloud cover in Chapleau at 16. Fog in Wawa, 14. Sault Ste. Marie, some light rain at 18 as well. Meanwhile, in Parry Sound, mainly sunny at 20. Beautiful drive down Highway 69 this evening. In the North Bay, we've got some cloud cover, 17. Temiskaming Shores, mainly sunny skies at 17. Kirkland Lake, sunshine and 19. Meanwhile, Sudbury Nickel Belt, sun and cloud at 20. 21 Espanola, sun and cloud. Elliott Lake, of course, sun and cloud. We've got the hat trick going on across the Highway 17 corridor at 20. And Gore Bay, some sun and cloud at 19. Beautiful Cinefest weekend, Ian, of course. You'll be inside, outside, like we will be tomorrow afternoon. But again, looks like a great start to the weekend coming up on Sunday with loads of sunshine. Back to you.
Sounds like a plan. Thanks, Rick. Next on CTV News at 6. The latest in the manhunt for the killer of Charlie Kirk. Police say they now have someone in custody. And Poland weighs in on a Russian drone incursion in its airspace. After 3 days of an intense manhunt in connection with the killing of a popular conservative influencer, Charlie Kirk, police say they now have a suspect in custody. CTV's Joy Melvin with what we know about the shooter.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We got him.
With those words, authorities identified 22-year-old Tyler Robinson of Utah as a suspect in connection with the targeted killing of conservative activist Charlie Kirk. After these images were released last night and a video of a suspect jumping from a rooftop, police say Robinson's father confronted his son and, with the help of a youth pastor, convinced him to turn himself in.
A family friend who contacted the Washington County Sheriff's Office with information that Robinson had confessed to them or implied that he had committed the incident.
A family member told investigators Robinson had become more political, expressing anger in chat groups and to friends.
Robinson mentioned Charlie Kirk was coming to UVU. They talked about why they didn't like him and the viewpoints that he had. The family member also stated Kirk was full of hate and spreading hate.
Police found a high-powered rifle and bullet casings with disturbing messages. As for motive, here's what the governor said.
The clearest one that says catch fascist, there's not, and by the way, that's like catch like a ball, catch this. I think that speaks for itself.
Kirk, a husband and father, was a rock star in the MAGA movement, debating controversial subjects like transgender issues, and a fierce ally of Donald Trump, who broke the news on air.
I hope he gets the death penalty. What he did, Charlie Kirk was the finest person. He didn't deserve this.
As Utah's governor pleaded for political healing.
This is our moment. Do we escalate or do we find an off-ramp? And again, it's a choice.
Robinson was arrested and charged with aggravated murder. He faces federal charges next week. Police believe he acted alone and is being held without bail. Joy Melvin, CTV News, Washington.
Polish Prime Minister Donald Tusk dismissed comments made by Trump yesterday that a Russian drone incursion into Polish airspace could have been a mistake. Polish authorities say they recovered parts of 17 Russian drones which crashed on Wednesday. No injuries or major damage reported. Polish and NATO jets scrambled to intercept the drones, a type of response last seen when Russia first launched their Ukraine invasion over 3 years ago. Former U.S. defense official Jim Townsend says he believes these drones were sent to Poland to send a clear message to the NATO member.
They were not armed. These drones didn't have a warhead that exploded. So if these drones were meant for Ukraine, obviously they would have had a warhead on them, but they didn't, because the point that Putin is making to Poland is we can reach out and touch you. Next time, these will have arms on them.
France says it is sending 3 fighter jets to Poland in response to the Russian incursion. The United Kingdom is announcing new sanctions against Russia as well. Turning to the latest on the war in Ukraine, Ukrainian officials say at least one person was killed in an overnight Russian drone attack on the city of Sumy in northeastern Ukraine. Firefighters found one body in the rubble of this burned out building. Several vehicles also caught on fire. Russia continues to launch drone strikes in targets in Ukraine. Western leaders accuse Russian President Vladimir Putin of dragging his feet in peace efforts. Meanwhile, Russia says it downed more than 200 Ukrainian drones. One drone attack caused the suspension of oil loading operations at Russia's Primorsk port overnight. Prime Minister Mark Carney and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky are set to hold a high-level event at the United Nations General Assembly. Zelensky announcing on Telegram that the meeting will focus on Ukrainian children abducted by Russia. Zelensky is also hoping to hold a meeting on Crimea, but he accuses Russia of trying to block that meeting. The high-level week of the General Assembly will take place from September 23rd to 29th. There's more news ahead, but first here's your full weather forecast with Rick Wyman.
Weekend is finally here, and it looks like with one interruption coming up tomorrow, we'll get a little bit of rain, but after that, it looks awfully good with loads of sunshine across northeastern Ontario. Let's have a look at our forecast radar right now. System moving in, affecting, well, the northeast overnight and into tomorrow, but then it's gone starting Sunday. All kinds of sunshine coming up. Let's have a look at some of the numbers now. 7-day forecast. Chance of showers at 40%. You'll recall I mentioned it was 60% yesterday. That's changed according to Environment Canada. So Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, 22, 24, and 25. How about 26 and 24 for mid-September? On Wednesday and Thursday, of course, all these temperatures above normal, which is around 17. We drop below normal by next Friday, but that's next week. Sault Ste. Marie Algoma, chance of showers at 60%, risk of a thunderstorm as well. Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, you've got some cloud, you've got some sun and cloud at 23 and 25. Wednesday, Thursday, it's not raining, but you've got cloud at 26, 22, dropping down to 16 in just about a week's time. Meanwhile, in Timmins, Cochrane campus casing, chance of showers at 40% tomorrow. Then for no less than 4 consecutive days, you've got sun and cloud at 21, 24, 26, and 27. Then the cool down next Thursday with cloud cover at 22, then 13 by next Friday. Your normal for this time of the year in the area is around 17 degrees. Temiskaming Shores, Kirkland Lake. Chance of showers at 40% for tomorrow. Then how about Sunday at 22, Monday at 24 with the sun and cloud, Tuesday at 25. Can you see it? It's getting warmer. Here we go. 25, 27, and 23 degrees. The expected highs. So, of course, you've got some sun, you've got some cloud, and you've got the warmer temperatures all above normal. Then the big drop down by next Friday, once again at 14 with a normal at this time of the year of around 17. Let's have a look now at North Bay, West Nipissing. Chance of showers for tomorrow at 24, 22 on Sunday, sun and cloud, 23 sun and cloud Monday. Tuesday, more sun and cloud at 24. That trend continues Wednesday, 25, up to 26 on Thursday. Then the big drop down to 17, which is more like what we're expecting in the month of September. Your normal this time of the year is around 18. Even the temperatures at night cool down. We go from 13 to 11 to 7 degrees. Let's take a look now at our pick of the day. A regular contributor is Brenda Cirilla to Blake in the Walford area, just off 17, Spanish Sables area. Beautiful shot, Brenda. Thank you so much for the contribution. I love that reflection off the water with the clouds. The clouds have broken up. But again, we'll do this all over again come Monday. Perhaps your picture could be on. Hey, stick around. Ian Campbell has more news coming up after the break.
Living Space, a drop-in center and shelter for people who are homeless, has begun offering a new program it calls the Launchpad. The program is for their clients who are committed to personal growth and independence. Officials and clients tell CTV News it's already proving positive. CTV's Lydia Chubak reports.
This is the Launchpad. It's on the second floor of the Living Space shelter in Timmins. This communal living space was created separate from the drop-in center. It's equipped with its own entrance and amenities. It gives select residents a quiet and calm area where they can focus on their individual goals.
Anything a person feels they need to accomplish to be successful and become independent. It could be sobriety, it could be education, work, reconnecting with family, counseling.
The Launchpad initiative began earlier this month, and these men have all met the criteria to stay here.
Everyone has a unique story, but even with such different backgrounds and stories, they can all come together for one common goal. So it's nice to see.
You're homeless out there. Your goal is to feed yourself, and hygiene is not even a priority, right? So being up here, it allows us to, give us opportunities to volunteer, to, get back on a routine.
I've been getting lots of support with these guys, yeah. And I'll be going back to school soon, and hopefully getting a house sooner.
You're given a place where you could, work towards proper goals, being able to be housed, have my children in my care, be able to be with my wife, instead of, what happens to so many families, just, you know what I mean? People that actually want to help themselves.
Some of the guidelines Launchpad clients are asked to follow are to present sober, meet weekly with their caseworkers, work consistently on their goals, and maintain regular check-ins.
We're trying to work on helping these clients get back on their sleeping schedule, and then slowly in time we're just slowly trying to have these more deep conversations, and with these conversations we're able to properly align them with the right agencies, the right supports, right programs.
Anyone who wants to access the Launchpad program can visit Living Space. Lydia Chubak, CTV News, Timmins.
Kids visiting the group health center now have a space and plenty of equipment designed just for them. The brand new look at the pediatrics department of the group health center is among a number of changes at the facility. It's resulting from a $200,000 donation from Scotiabank's Scotia Rise program, which is taking care of children as one of its main pillars. In addition to the outdoor themed waiting area, there's also upgrades to a waiting area for those with neurodevelopmental needs. The funds also cover 9 medical equipment upgrades, such as a scale for those in wheelchairs, child-sized blood pressure cuffs, and an overhead lift.
I think about parents that come in here now with their children. There's no doubt that when they're getting out of their vehicle and coming across the parking lot that there's a ton of anxiousness. But given what children are walking into now and what can make them feel comfortable and make them feel more at peace or more safe. I think that that's just a huge benefit.
If we have to examine kids, for example, looking in their ears, which can sometimes be uncomfortable, a lot of kids come here for their vaccinations. And if you can remember all the way back to when you were a child, that is some of the most difficult childhood memories that they have. So by making this a welcoming space, kids are actually eager to come and receive health care, and kids are actually eager to come back again a second time.
We do have a trust fund who helps raise capital, so this definitely expedited the purchase of this equipment. So if not through Scotiabank, there would have been likely a delay in receiving this equipment. Receiving this definitely helps us approach other capital needs within the organization, so yes, that'll be a benefit as well.
Silvano adds that the $200,000 that would have been used for these upgrades can now go towards areas like diagnostic imaging and group health's surgical department. Members of Wikwemkong are gathering for a memorial walk to remember Anthony Mandamin. Mandamin was killed in a hit and run 19 years ago, and officials are hoping this will raise awareness about the cold case. A sacred fire will be lit at the Oswamic Gittidaning, and the walk will take place at 9 a.m. on September 13th at Pat's Cafe and will conclude with food and a giveaway. Chief Ron Geniak said police will be joining the family on the walk and following up on every tip they receive as they have reopened the case, hoping to find answers from Mandamin's family.
We need people to come forward with any information, even if you feel that that information is not important or it may be relevant. Please contact the police so we can speak with you and make those determinations, because there may be something that you, a piece of information that you have or were made aware of that we don't know yet.
Police have offered a $50,000 award for information leading to the arrest and conviction of the person or persons responsible. A family-owned used car dealership in Ontario is receiving numerous and repeat recognitions for what they do. The business was started by a man who came to Canada hoping for success, and he now shares that just with his family. CTV's Heather Centerin reports.
Here's our showroom here on this side.
Most Wanted Cars started in Kitchener, but just opened a second spot in Guelph.
These are two of our locations.
Staff say the customers always come first.
We treat them like a family.
Family is everything for car dealership owner Raj Nakra. His 3 sons and wife work alongside him.
They have been the pillars of the business from day one.
I wasn't going home to watch Arthur or the Rugrats after school. I was coming here and I was detailing cars and cleaning bird poop off vehicles.
It was always Raj's dream to start his own business when he immigrated from India in the mid-'80s. Now it's doing better than he could have ever imagined.
So these awards here, this is 2025 Deal of the Year by Dealerator.
This is the 3rd year in a row Most Wanted Cars took top spot for used dealership in Canada, also winning Ontario-wide for 5 consecutive years.
So it's clear that he and his team are engaged with not just providing a great customer experience, but also making sure that customers share their feedback on our platform, which is really important.
They also took home Auto Trader's Best Price Dealer for 2025.
We look at dealerships' inventory in the year and then look at the percentage of inventory that's priced as good or great. And the higher the percentage, the higher the chances that you'd be on the top dealerships.
While they're proud of their prices, staff say it's much more than that. Last year, about 66% of their business was repeat referrals.
More happy customers means more repeat customers, more referrals, and that's how I think that we're winning in this industry.
As for Raj, he's ready to pass the torch.
My kids are very smart kids and they're doing amazing jobs. So basically they're running the show and I am sitting in the back seat enjoying.
The sons say they're excited to take the wheel and drive the success of the dealership even further.
Most Wanted Cars' goal is always to be the first phone call, the first walk-in, the first test drive.
Heather Centerin, CTV News, Guelph.
The weather turned out to be pretty nice for a flag raising in North Bay. North Bay Pride raised the flag yesterday at City Hall to kick off Pride Week in the Gateway City. There was a march today, the parade, and a concert tomorrow, and a drag competition on Sunday night. Full details about the week can be found on their Facebook page. Meantime, nearly 100 people from the 2S LGBTQ+ community and their allies gathered at City Hall in North Bay for a demonstration and march to the waterfront. It was a Two-Spirit and Trans March, but all were welcome to join in, trying to highlight that Two-Spirit and gender people are a big part of the community. Organizers are hoping to spark conversations about love and respect. Organizers say last year an organized trans march fell on the wayside and was canceled, so they wanted to scrounge up support for their own grassroots demonstration. The group chose not to ask North Bay Police to participate, so deep wounds Indigenous people have from past relationships with officers would not be reopened.
When I tell people, oh, I'm a Two-Spirit person, I get told you don't exist. And I'm like, excuse me, I'm right here in front of you. What do you mean I don't exist? So there is a lot of hate, and then online, social media and stuff, when people find out you're trans or Two-Spirit, they come at you hard.
Notably, a prominent North Bay group that works with 2S LGBTQ+ youth, Out Loud North Bay, chose not to participate, citing its values do not align with some of the organizers and other groups that are attending or participating. Still ahead on CTV News at 6. The Sudbury Cubs start their new season off with a new banner. More on that and how they fared against Timmins. Junior hockey is back across the north, and last night the Northern Ontario Junior Hockey League marked it with something special. This was the scene as the league champs unveiled their new banner to be hung at the Countryside Arena. The Sudbury Cubs would go on to compete nationally for the Centennial Cup, but fell short this year. They are hoping for a three-peat. Meanwhile, the Cubs would be the first to get on the board with this goal. Aidan McCartney finding the back of the net in the last minute of the first period with the assist from Dax Klinkhammer and Caden Long. That would get marked down as the game winner in their 4-0 victory over the Timmins Rock. The Hearst Lumberjacks are in Sudbury tonight looking for a rematch after their loss to the Cubs in last season's final. That game starts at 7 p.m. Also on deck tonight, the Sioux Thunderbirds take on the Powassan Voodoos at 7. The Sioux Eagles are facing off against the Kirkland Lake Gold Miners also at 7. And the Blind River Beavers are in Espanola to take on the Paper Kings at 7:30. And in the O, exhibition play continues. The Sault Ste. Marie Greyhounds are across the border tonight in Saginaw to take on the Spirit, and the North Bay Battalion have marched into Sudbury to battle the Sudbury Wolves. Both of those games hit the ice just after 7 tonight. Organizers of Cinefest Sudbury are putting the final touches on this year's film festival. CTV's Angela Campbell reports.
Crews are busy setting up the hospitality tent and the VIP lounge at Silver City in preparation for celebrations and special guests at this year's event.
I'm excited for people to see the impact and to see the crowds. And, you know, I think this event is going to feel bigger and bolder than ever before.
The 37th edition of Cinefest, Sudbury's International Film Festival, opens tomorrow. Executive Director Patrick O'Hearn is excited for film goers to check out the caliber of films being screened, adding they've tried to pack in as much Northern Ontario content as possible.
If you've never been to Cinefest before, I think you should expect a community, you know, that really craves world-class filmmaking, and you know, I think the reason Cinefest has always stood out is because we are able to, you know, through our relationships, attract some of the best and brightest films from around the world. It's big crowds, but it's a great community of people who just really want to experience art.
In a statement, the Minister of Tourism, Culture and Gaming says supporting festivals like Sudbury Cinefest helps attract visitors to Northern Ontario and increases exposure of northern locations and talent by showcasing local film, hosting panels, workshops, and encouraging local filmmakers. According to O'Hearn, this year's ticket sales have been approaching their highest levels ever.
We made a lot of changes. We've made it easier for people who may not be familiar with Cinefest to attend. You can buy single tickets for any screening that takes place as part of the festival. You can also still buy books of 4, books of 10.
O'Hearn is expecting a few sellouts this year, including for the John Candy documentary I Like Me, which they've had to open more tickets for ahead of the festival starting. Cinefest runs until September 21st at Silver City. Angela Gamble, CTV News, Sudbury.
And CTV News is a proud sponsor of the opening night gala film, a humorous time travel mockumentary called Nirvana, the Band, the Show, the Movie. I'll be there along with a few familiar faces from CTV, so we hope you'll come down and say hello. And as Cinefest gets set to start, the Toronto Film Festival is winding down. This year saw an increase in the number of influencers at the events. CTV's Andrea Case has the story.
Red carpet after red carpet at TIFF, stars, directors, and producers all walk the walk, posing for pictures and taking part in interviews. From Jessie Buckley to Emily Watson, all who are attending are on what's known as a call sheet. Oscar nominee Paul Mescal may be one of the most sought-after stars of Hamnet, but on this carpet, 9 of the 21 faces listed were influencers. Some came with camera crews in tow.
I would never consider myself an influencer.
It's interesting because I was also invited to be on the other side of the carpet where you are, and I had to make the choice of which one I wanted to do.
It's the first year that influencers have been invited to walk carpets, which is cool because you see it sometimes in States and everything, but it's fun that it's happening here and they're, treating us for the creatives that we are and the content that we share, and that it has value and it's important and it helps boost the festival and boost Toronto, and that's all I care about.
Carly Fortune is a best-selling author whose books are currently being made into movies.
When it comes down to it, it's an influencer, somebody people trust, whose opinions people take seriously, and that's a really important job that comes with a lot of power, I think.
It's surreal, but the favorite thing about it is I'm here with Mom. She is a huge TIFF fan. Every year she goes to TIFF. Funny enough, this year she didn't get any tickets just because of busyness, and here we are walking the red carpet. I'm just so happy to see her smile.
The studio is no doubt looking for a favorable review, but it's not guaranteed.
I mean, that's with anything. I think what's great about being a creator is having your own opinions about certain things. And I think opinions are very valuable because if you like everything, you become unauthentic.
Oh, I plan to love this film. I have heard great things.
Andrea Case, CTV News.
A few of your favorite things are coming up in tonight's Hollywood Report, including a remastered release of The Sound of Music. Douglas Hyde has the entertainment headlines.
Theaters across the U.S. are alive again with The Sound of Music. A restored and remastered 60th anniversary version is now in cinemas. Audiences must still consider it one of their favorite things. The classic musical's theatrical run was extended through next Wednesday due to popular demand.
It's gonna get us. It's gonna get us all. What are we talking about? Why?
A little bit of big news for Big Little Lies fans. After a long hiatus, work is now officially underway on a 3rd season. The hit HBO show is staffing up with a new executive producer and writer. No word yet on when the new season will premiere. Big Little Lies last aired way back in 2019.
You're the world champion right now.
Here's your first look at Sydney Sweeney in the boxing biopic Christie. As you can see, she completely transformed for the film, which centers on real-life boxer Christy Martin, who rose from small-town roots to become one of boxing's first female stars. Christy enters the ring November 7th. In Hollywood, I'm Douglas Hyde.
The federal office created to fast-track infrastructure projects could put Canadians on a fast track when they travel between Ontario and Quebec. BNN Bloomberg's Marilla Fernandez has more on that and other business headlines.
The federal government wants shovels in the ground on a high-speed rail line in 4 years. The 1,000-kilometer corridor would run between Toronto and Quebec City, zipping passengers along at 300 kilometers an hour. The trade minister says the new major projects office will work to speed up engineering and other work, even though this didn't make the initial list of projects announced by the Prime Minister on Thursday. Here's a look at how the trading day ended. The Canadian dollar is down to 72.23. West Texas Intermediate is up just a bit to 62.19. Western Canadian Select is down over $1 to 50.80. And the TSX dropped 124 points today, ending the week at 29,283. Those are your business headlines. I'm Marilla Fernandez.
And here are the current prices for some key commodities we watch. Gold up $9.13, closing the day at $36.43.12 U.S. an ounce. And silver up 63 cents to end the day at $42.19. Copper up 3 cents, and nickel is up a nickel, ending the day at $6.86 U.S. a pound. Now, for one last look at the weather, let's go over to the weather boards for what we are going to see tomorrow. And we're going to have to go through a little pain to get to the game. Take a look at that. We got showers across the stretch there. 23 in Sudbury with a slight chance of showers. 21 in Timmins. 24 and a potential thunderstorm and a very good chance of showers in Sault Ste. Marie. Heading over to North Bay, we've got showers in North Bay and 24, Parry Sound 21 and showers, and Temiskaming, you guessed it, more showers and 24 degrees. And that's our newscast for this Friday night. If you're in the Sudbury area, I hope to see some of you tomorrow night down at Cinefest. Thank you all for watching. Amanda Hicks is in tonight with the late cast for me. Make sure you tune in. Until then, thanks for watching. And in honor of the big movie festival, we leave you with one of my favorites, A Little Footloose. Good night, everyone.